they don't feel safe parking their car in the community and walking to church, nor visiting the businesses. So this is very serious.
Now at 5, some Oakland residents just afraid to live their lives. The city has experienced a violent week with multiple victims, including 4 people killed and a toddler wounded.
Crews are now working to contain a brush fire in the San Bernardino National Forest tonight. CAL FIRE says the Knob fire has burned about 160 acres. Ground and air crews are working to put out the flames. Officials say the fire is burning in a remote area and is not expected to pose a threat to communities. No injuries have been reported. An attorney representing a former San Leandro police officer charged in the killing of a man at a Walmart store wants to disqualify Alameda County DA Pamela Price. Mike Raines says she should not continue to prosecute Jason Fletcher on a voluntary manslaughter charge in the shooting death of Stephen Taylor back in 2020. Raines says Price has shown an animosity toward police officers in social media posts and in public statements. Raines also says she has posted on social media describing the shooting death as an execution and a murder. The attorney is asking Attorney General Rob Bonta to handle the prosecution instead. Price has not responded to our requests for comment. Well, the water is flowing, as you can see, and there are concerns about the possibility of more flooding at Yosemite National Park. This is a look at what it looks like at Yosemite today. Most of Yosemite Valley will close starting Friday night because of the threat of flooding. The warmer weather means that the record snowfall could melt very quickly. The national park is encouraging everyone to delay travel to Yosemite over the next week. 2
men are now under arrest in the city of San Jose, accused of attempted homicide after opening fire during a robbery. Officers were called to Story Road right near Knox Avenue Saturday afternoon. Investigators say the suspects, Miguel Barragan and Jamie Gonzalez, entered a store and stole property. When an employee confronted them, they say Barragan began shooting into the store. Police also say as the suspects continued to flee, they shot back into that store. Nobody was hurt, and officers took them into custody nearby. Teachers have voted to authorize a strike. They held a rally a short time ago ahead of tonight's school board meeting to discuss OUSD's next steps. The district had filed for an injunction before the Public Employees Relations Board, but it was denied, so a strike could indeed possibly happen. No strike date has been set, but the district says it believes it could happen next week if negotiations do not move forward. In Sudan, a second U.S. citizen has been killed in fighting there as governments around the world race to evacuate their citizens. This is the last day of a ceasefire agreement. France has facilitated mass evacuations. Many children were led to safety aboard a military ship, and the elderly were led to a French Navy vessel in wheelchairs or stretchers.
It went well. 500 people altogether, including more than 300 foreigners, were evacuated by air from more than 40 different nationalities. They arrived beyond exhausted.
The U.S., Germany, and Britain, among other nations, evacuated diplomatic personnel. At least 450 people have been killed since the fighting began earlier this month between the Sudanese military and a paramilitary group.
Oakland police tonight are investigating another homicide in the city. A homeless man was found dead from blunt force trauma in a doorway near 10th and Harrison at around 7:30 this morning. The Episcopal Church of Our Savior owns that building where the man was killed. The church was hit by an apparent arsonist early on Friday morning.
It's very sad and depressing for Oakland and the Chinatown community in general. The crime, the homelessness, the graffiti, it seems like it's constant.
Oakland homicide investigators canvassed that neighborhood looking for witnesses and surveillance video related to this latest homicide.
Oakland School Board heard from teachers and parents at their board meeting tonight, the day after teachers approved a potential strike. A number of speakers at the meeting said they support the teachers' action. Many also spoke out against potential cuts to special education programs. One teacher said he disagreed with the superintendent's comment today that now is not the appropriate time for teachers to strike.
I think this is extremely appropriate time for us to strike and to fight to win not only a living wage for teachers in Oakland, to stabilize the schools, but also to defend special education programs against the attacks and cuts that are being made on them, and to stop the school closings.
Oakland teachers rallied ahead of the meeting. KTVU's Tom Baker has an update now on the negotiations.
All right, families in Alameda taking advantage of today's warm weather. It's clear skies there with children and others splashing around out at Crown Memorial Beach, soaking up all that sun. Indeed, it was a beautiful day across much of the Bay Area.